All right, good Wednesday morning, Vikings. It's actually Tuesday evening here, but I am going to be at school all day tomorrow, or all day today, depending on when you're watching this. Finally, get to go back into the classroom and start cleaning up. I'm kind of looking forward to getting back in there because when I left, I wasn't there the last 2 days, so it was left as is. So got some work ahead of me. So number one, we will not have a Zoom today at 10 o'clock like we normally do. So we will not have a Zoom this week. We will definitely plan on having one next Wednesday at 10, our regular time. So I will be at school tomorrow working. For something a little different, thought I'd take you on a tour of what I've been busy doing with my life at home. I know I bug you guys every week to be getting outside, so I hope you guys have been getting outside. Pretty sunset, and it's very windy. It's actually kind of cold out here. But I've been doing a lot of planting. This actually, right here, this big old empty spot, used to be Beckett's big jungle gym swing thing, but he outgrew that a couple years ago, so Mr. Adams and Mr. Burnett came over and took it down so they could use it for their little kiddos. So this space is usually filled with a big contraption. It is gone, so we have planted some new things in this big open space. Mrs. Bruns has wanted this tree for a while. It's called a tulip poplar. So we just planted that a few days ago. All this stuff over here is Missouri native plants. And so this box actually is left over from last year. And everything's popped back up. Most of this is milkweed. So some of you probably know who needs the milkweed, and that is the monarch butterfly. So I'm excited that that has come back up this year. And then we planted some more things over here. I actually forget what's in here. But we actually have some rogue carrots from our garden last year. I'm going to pull one up just to see how big it is. It's probably going to be a little one. Oh, here you go, carrot. I'm going to stick it back in the ground. Leave it for the bunnies that come into our yard quite frequently. This is all newly planted, more Missouri native plants in these trenches. So we'll see what comes up in the following weeks. This is our Missouri prairie. So last summer Mr. Bruns got tired of mowing. We have kind of a big backyard and it's hilly, and I don't have a fancy rider lawnmower. I push. And so last summer Mrs. Bruns and I got a great idea of maybe not mowing everything and letting part of our yard just grow back into the way it's meant to be. In fact, we're really lucky. You're gonna see my mess back here. We're really lucky we have a big field behind our house. Now, years ago, actually about 10 years ago, a neighbor used to mow this completely down to the dirt so all the kids could play in it. Well, that neighbor moved about 10 years ago, and you can see this is not an empty field anymore. It is filled with all sorts of plants and bushes, and this big old tree wasn't here 10 years ago. And so, kind of an example of what people have been doing around the state of Missouri and different states of letting things go back wild to the way they used to be. So really like our field in the back. Of course, it means we've got deer and bunnies and snakes. Ooh. We've had turkeys walking through our yard. It is getting really windy. Hopefully you can actually hear me. Planted a couple new peach trees. There's one there. One up there. And then something that I've always wanted, going back to our native plants, this is a pawpaw tree. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this tree before, but it's native to Missouri, several other states, and its fruit supposedly tastes like banana. So, kind of excited to see this grow over the years. I love banana, so. Now, kind of embarrassed to show you this plant. Let's see who can identify what this is. Like I said, I'm kind of embarrassed. Let's see. They get close up. Some of you might be able to ID it now. I don't know if I can get close enough to the bark. If you look at the bark and the striation on the bark, some of you should know what this is. I know, I'm so embarrassed. Don't tell Mr. Slidowski it's still here. It's coming out. It's coming out. Why is it coming out? Yes, it's that evil invasive species. Shh. I'll get it out. Lots of flowers coming up. We usually just throw flower seeds in our backyard, hoping they will grow. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This is my little forest walk that I like. But all these trees, when we bought this house like 14 years ago, none of these, oh, bird. None of these trees were actually here. Our house, our yard actually had 0 trees in the yard when we bought it. So everything that you're looking at, Mrs. Bruns and I, mostly I, planted over the past 14 years. This is more of our yard that we've just kind of let go back to natural. This is a piece of art, yard art, that I've started to work on. It's not done yet, but we have a lot of trees that have fallen down that I still haven't cut up. So I'll continue to work on this. Maybe I'll show it to you next week. It's one of our apple trees. We actually had apples last year for the first time in a long time. So hopefully we get lucky again this year. These are they're called Asian pears. I don't know how many of you guys have ever heard of an Asian pear. It's kind of tastes like an apple and a pear mixed together. Some years we get tons, and some years they all get blown off and we get nothing. So we'll have to see this year what happens. Let's see, these are really deep holes that I've been digging. I'm trying to put up some hammocks this summer. So I've been digging very deep holes, which are now filled with water from the rain. Hopefully that'll make it easier to dig the rest of it. And let's see. More new plants that we've planted. Just wanted to walk back out to the front because the sunset looks like it's oh so pretty. Hope you guys have been getting outside, looking at the sunsets. I have to say, as somebody that grew up in California, Missouri and the Midwest have pretty awesome sunsets. That's pretty beautiful. Alright. Woo! Did you just get dizzy? I sure did. Now, here's the last really big project. So, this overgrown, ugly part of our yard has been here now for about 14 years. needs to be dug up and redone. There's crabgrass all over the place. There's another one of those evil plants. You figured out what it is yet? Hopefully you're saying honeysuckle. Here's another one. But we have some very nice cone flowers that are popping up too, all over the place. You can see I started to dig this up, but then I got tired. So this is the last really big project I still have to work on this summer. All right, we're coming back around the other side again. I'm gonna go sit on the porch and go over this week's choice board with you. Saw a really cool lizard over here this morning. Show you a picture of it. Whoa! Windy! Man. Alright, this is where we hang out a lot on the porch. Alright. So I hope you enjoyed that little field trip around my yard. That is where I have been spending a lot of my time. Because I just can't handle sitting in the house. Because I get really, really bored. Just like I'm assuming a lot of you do. So, again, I hope even when it's cold. Because I'm like shaking right now because I'm shivering. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over the choice board this week. For Stay Sharp, the Cell Tic-Tac-Toe projects, I just tested that a while ago and the link is not working. So I'll let Mr. Slidowski know. And I think just like a tic-tac-toe board, it's just a couple different choices and ideas of projects you could do on cells. Again, cells has been a big theme for weeks now. I'm assuming most of you are kind of good on cells, but if you want to check it out, go ahead. The center of the cell games, you'll need to be on a laptop or a desktop for that, because I think everything is a flash game. There actually are some really cool games on here. Build an Organ, Organ Surgery. I tried those. Flu Epidemic, that's timely. But actually, there's a lot of fun stuff on here. Unfortunately, I think most of it is Flash. I didn't click every single one, but I clicked several of them, and they were all Flash games, so you'll need to be on a laptop or a desktop computer. Here in the middle, Learn More, Project 538. Kind of a great article with a lot of graphs. And again, it's topical. It's about the COVID-19 virus. Which, while very disruptive to our lives and a little scary, I hope you want to know about it, because knowing about things make them a little less scary if you understand them. And so I'm going to just scroll all the way down here to the bottom, because there's some really cool graphs that you can do some manipulation with. So you'll notice all the different states down here, but you can look up here. You can change the dates. You can show models from different places, different universities, different institutions. Now, the models that we worked on in class were not quite this kind of model, but you can have graphs that are models that project what we think might happen based on different situations. So models can also take the form of kind of like these graphs where you can manipulate the variables. So I think some of you would be interested in reading this article and just practicing looking at graphs. What do you notice? What do you wonder? And like I said, I think the real fun is down here where you can kind of manipulate the dates and the models from the different institutions. So check that out. And then let's see. Oh, National Geographic Discovering the Cell. I believe that's another article. I believe it's from Newsela. So if you scroll down, you can mess around with the text level. So you can see it automatically defaults to 12th grade. But you can change the grade level on the reading if you wish, which is always very nice. But I think this is mostly just an article. I hope you're doing some reading. I certainly have not been doing as much reading as I typically do because I've been spending a lot of time outside. As soon as I get that hammock put up where I can sit and relax and read outside, I'll be doing more reading, I'm sure. And then lastly, there is another medical mystery, Read Out Loud, Chapter 4. A lot of you have been listening to those and filling out the sheet and sending that to me. A lot of you seem to enjoy trying to figure out what's going on there. So if you're looking for something to do this week, listen to the medical mystery, play some of the games. Don't forget to check out the webcams as usual. And I wanted to show you some pictures that I took. So there's this app. I don't think I have it on my iPad. Boy, that's a mess, isn't it? But it's an app called iNaturalist. I think Mr. Slidowski is going to make sure that is in the self-service so you can all download it. But it's really cool because you can take pictures literally of any living organism, and it'll help you ID them, and then you can upload it to a database of living organisms all around the world and see where people have found them. So this is the little dude I saw this morning, which I can't believe he stood still so I could take that good of a picture of him. I think it's a skink, the app told me. So that I saw that this morning. Saw this morning. And I still have to do some research because, there's moths and there's butterflies. And I think this is a moth, not a butterfly. But I uploaded that to the app, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is. I think it's a moth, but I'd like to find out what kind. Let's see, what else? Oh, real quick. Hey, this is Graham. So Graham's actually been working on a really cool project with his dad, making a bee house. And so this is the finished product he shared with me, I think today or yesterday. Really awesome. So, you don't necessarily have to be doing the things on the website to be doing science. So make sure you're checking Schoology over the next week or two about the iNaturalist. That'll be a really cool thing that, especially now, if you haven't heard, you get to keep your iPad all summer long. And iNaturalist is something that you can have some real fun with this summer, or as soon as they let us download it. Just searching for things, whether they're in your yard, in your neighborhood, in a park near you. So that'll be something cool that we all can be doing here in the near future, hopefully. If you have not sent me your Google slide for Miss Spratt yet, if you could make that and share it with me as soon as possible. I'm going to get those together. She was going to join us tomorrow for our Zoom, but I will check with her and see if she can join us next week as well. She is officially done with her student teaching and is graduating. And so I think she'll still be able to Zoom with us next week so we can officially kind of say goodbye and so long and good luck to her. Let's see. Other things I need to tell you. I don't think there is anything else. Miss you. It kind of sucks going back to school tomorrow to pack and clean and know that we are not going to be back there together for anything. I will start working on my famous end of the year slideshow. All those annoying pictures that I've been taking throughout the school year, at least up and through March. I will be working on that so that I can share that with you maybe next week. Let's see, anything else? I think that's about it. So, all right. Well, get a little work done, get outside, have fun. This will end eventually. I hope you're all staying safe and